Yeah, what is like my 4th or 5th Zoom meeting this month?
Can you guys still see each other?
Yeah,
Yeah,
over here on the side.
Well, we'd have to scroll.
Yeah.
We have to scroll down a little bit to see the other ones.
Yeah.
Well, I got all 6 of you right across the top of the screen.
I'm still learning how to use this.
Oh, wait a minute.
Oh, there we are.
Now we're streaming. All right.
Yeah.
Steve, launch us. Open us up, Steve.
Oh, yeah, this is so much stuff.
Oh, and we also have a chat room. I don't know if you guys use that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Chat over here. And a participants list.
Yeah.
There we go. Chat.
And never underestimate the power of the mute. You never know. You always want to know where that is. Always want to know where that is.
The meeting we had yesterday, there were 18, 20 people, and everybody muted themselves when the other person was talking. It worked.
Mhm.
Worked really. Okay, let's see. Almost going live on YouTube here. And then
You are live.
I'm live on YouTube.
At least
That's
it's
all
showing
right
it.
at the top.
We're on live.
It's delayed. There's usually there's usually like a 5-minute delay, Steve.
Yeah.
From what's said here, but it's showing that it's live on YouTube right now.
Okay. Good.
Everybody should see that upper left-hand corner.
All right. Yep. So that worked. That's good.
I'm wearing my pajamas.
Okay.
Nothing wrong with PJs.
All right. So now I'm gonna record.
Do you have any idea how many people I've seen in the grocery store in their PJs? Like PJs are officially closed.
Mute all. Okay. I'm just muting everybody right now because I got to start this recording and record to the cloud. And there we go. Okay. Welcome everybody to Boston Media Makers virtually live on Zoom. For years and years and years, we've met at Doyle's Cafe in Jamaica Plain, but they closed down, so we don't meet there anymore. And that presented a problem. But now we have the solution of Zoom. Ari Herzog, what are you doing? Don't do that. You're confusing me here. I'm gonna have to shut that feature off. Okay, let me see. Mute all, unmute all. Okay, guys, very good.
I was a little scared there because I was moving and I was doing nothing.
All right.
Who's chatting? Oh.
Welcome everyone to Boston Media Makers. So today we are going to have a presentation from Bruce Jones if he's ready.
Oh, I can do it. Yeah, let me just get it up. Let me get the
All right,
page up.
Bruce is going to get that ready. And
Let me put this over here.
are you going to?
You want me to show? I can show you the whole stream. So yeah, let me just get it up. Hold on.
Steve, you're streaming live on YouTube?
My kitty cat broke.
Oh no, another animal goes viral on YouTube.
Yeah, you can stream live to YouTube and Facebook.
You want to mute video story?
At the same time?
I have to mute
Yep.
Yvonne for a second. Yeah, and you just click
Headphones.
YouTube and stream to Facebook, and it does it.
Wow.
Are you? They're birds.
I'm in Florida. I got trapped in Florida. I'm not gonna lie, it's making this whole thing a lot
Oh
easier.
my goodness.
Yeah, that's the sky.
That's the first time anyone said anything about Florida in a long time.
Well, yeah.
All right, so Bruce, you're gonna.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for it to open.
Oh, okay. So we have a special presentation to kick off the
There we
meeting today.
Okay.
Bruce Jones is going to present, and actually, Rob, mute yourself. Or I'm going to mute you so we don't hear the birds, if that's okay. All right, there
It's
we go.
coming. It's coming.
All right, Bruce. Why don't we? Well, so
Just give me 1 second. It's just opening up.
I guess I could kick it off. So I made a Facebook post recently about the certain states have combined together to form a pact or compact to decide how to open up again on their own. So that some of the states in the Northeast did it, some of the states in the West Coast did it, and I saw Governor Cuomo talk about it, and he had a picture of a number of the states, and and when in my Facebook post I said, do they have a logo for this yet? Someone in my comments said, you should design a t-shirt and sell it for charity. And so I thought, good idea. Who do I know who could make a graphic using states? And that would be Bruce. So I emailed Bruce and said, hey, are you interested in trying this? So we worked together to make up a logo, and he wants to present what we did. So go
Yeah,
ahead.
they're just about there. Wait a minute. Let me just, it's almost there. Come on, here we go. All right. Let me just zoom in. All right. So let me go to screen share. Screen share. Boom. Share. So Steve mentioned about, hold on, it's coming up. There we go. All right. Can everybody see this?
Yes.
Yep.
All right.
Oh my God, this is how the Civil War starts. What the hell? Now we have flags for all the factions. This is great.
So Steve asked me to participate in this process, and I did, and I went into my maps, and he mentioned about the biohazard logo. So I went onto Google and found the biohazard logo and found it on Wikipedia. And it's the person had released it to the public domain, so we're able to get that. So I'll just show you kind of. So I started here with my thinking was the logo behind. This is partly from what Steve had said, and then the states. So we just put the states on top, and they're all changeable. And I tried some different colors and all that kind of stuff. And I put it behind. I put it in front, and then I did ones like this where we sort of made it like an emergency thing and started doing some gradations. I went onto Google Images and saw how people were doing different things and started to get inspired. So we did quarantine. And Steve looked at these and said, "Whoa, this is kind of scary stuff here." And,
Kinda?
well, I wasn't sure where he was going. I didn't know what it was sort of like just designing on the fly. We did this back and forth over Facebook, and I just kept sending him PDFs, and I would just send him 4 pages and 5 pages and 6 pages. And so we did that one. And then
Bruce, the reason that came from in the beginning was the person who says, "Hey, this would be cool." And I haven't seen the Hunger Games, but I understand it's a bunch of states against each other. So the initial idea was these Hunger Games kind of branding for each group of states.
Right.
But then when Bruce came out with the design, we were like, I showed it to Carol. She's like, "That's scary."
I kind of saw it as our country splitting apart. This is like the Civil War on steroids, each separate section going at each other.
Yeah.
So I did that one with the quarantine, and then we had this one, and then Steve's like, "Whoa, can you like tone this down?" So then I started to go with softer colors, blue, and then we came up with sort of this words joining together for a safer, cleaner northeast, whatever that was, cleaner northeast. So we did blue, and then that morphed itself into something like this, joining together for a safer world, same color, just screen back the biohazard logo. So we know we're kind of moving in on it. Put the words around it, like so. Some of these are Steve's suggestions, putting them around it. And we kind of came up with this one. We like this one. And then California, Oregon, and Washington did it. So this was a format that actually could be put any states inside of this. So that was that. And yeah, this is where we got to. And so then we sent it off to the powers that we were sort of approaching, and they sent it to legal, which is nice, I guess, to see if they did it. But the company didn't take outside outside ideas, so it's just sort of died right to here. But so that's where so let me just zoom out so you can kind of see this is how it sort of developed. So it started here and then went down to here. This is sort of the thought pattern. But I don't know Steve, how many did we do? Like back and forth was probably 6 or 7 PDFs going back and forth. Back and forth.
It was great. It was really fun to be in. Oh, am I not muted or am I?
No, we can.
I hear
We
you.
hear you.
Yeah.
That was really fun to go through this process together. And then we had a marketing person too, who was giving, some feedback on what she thought would be good. And then once we sent it along, it went directly to the legal department at the t-shirt company, where they don't accept any outside graphics because they do it all themselves. So the next option would be to think about putting it on a t-shirt site and selling it. And Bruce has one he likes. I found one where there's no cost to you. It's all, the t-shirt site is all set up for charity, and they take a little portion of it, and then all the money goes to charity. So we have to decide if we want to do that.
Which is your favorite one? You're leaning to.
I actually like where it got to. I mean, definitely depending on the audience, you could definitely do these one, quarantine, Connecticut, quarantine,
Yeah,
Massachusetts.
I like that one at the bottom in the middle.
This one here.
Yeah. I mean, that's
Yeah.
in New England, of course. I like
That's New England. Yeah, and this is fairly easy to put a different set of states inside of it, or you could do a single state.
it would be interesting to see what it looks like with the country in there.
And then it feels like they might have left the country behind.
Yeah.
I think that's the idea, right?
I know, but I'm just saying, like, it's more a question of then we'd have to commit to that vision. I'm not, really, it's like it might seem a little passive aggressive unintentionally.
I think I had. Do I have the state? I have it up here. I had it. Well, it's kind of going that way, anyways.
I know. Oh, I know. I'm just saying we'll have to commit to whatever message. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like it's gonna be like you're gonna expect. You should expect. Because let's face it, there are people on the internet just waiting for an opportunity.
What is this
To
called?
view an action with bad motives that don't exist.
Right.
PC, what do you think?
Where'd he go? Is he
You're
still
gonna
there?
have to unmute. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
down. He's in the bottom of my screen.
I mean, it's a little more. I mean, biohazard symbol's a little intense.
Hmm.
Okay.
It's fine. I like it. I like the combination. I like the idea.
That's the scary part, though,
Well, look at-
especially the way it looks like swords or sharp objects.
You know what I think of this though? I'd like to think of this more like a league, like a baseball league. We're all just winning the pennant to kill COVID-19 to defeat COVID-19. So if I have more of a different team, so there's a friendly competition. Which one of us can beat the crap out of COVID-19 first? Like a league.
I don't
know. Yeah.
Since you got the East Coast, the West Coast. That way, it seems like it's friendly competitive, but it's not like we're. Look, dude, I'm a science fiction fan. I can go down a list of movies how they all started like this. 8 days later, there's a TV show called Revolution. I could go down a list.
Right.
There are literally been video games made on this.
I'm not sure what other
maybe-
symbols to put behind. We use the biohazard one, but there's probably other symbols that we could.
Like I think of Ghostbusters. That's like an anti-symbol, but it's funny because you put the red thing on it. Maybe like a Ghostbusters COVID-19. But like it's Ghostbusters with a red stripe and was.
Well, now, yeah, we probably couldn't do that legally.
If it was Ghostbusters, yes, but if it was COVID-19.
Put
Oh,
a
I see.
plague mask behind it.
Yeah, I mean that whole whatever the red part I think is universal. You see it on everything.
Oh, that
Don't
might
walk
be
on
a
the-
good idea, Cece.
I
Instead
was
of the
kidding.
instead of
I was
the
kidding about the plague mask.
instead of the
Cece,
blue.
Cece, what was that flag?
and
That looked like the
symbols.
Massachusetts flag.
That's the flag of New England.
Hmm.
That's the New
Yeah,
England
that's what
flag.
it says. We died. This is like
Oh.
died or something.
I think that was also used as an early Massachusetts.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wood
it is. It was.
I-
It's the early. It's known as the New England flag. There's been a whole bunch of different variations of it.
Yeah.
Well, the other thing is you're assuming that people are geographically educated when they see it and are going to know what states they are. I'm not sure that shape is very user friendly.
Yeah, that's a very unique shape. That's for
And
sure.
thank you for that. That was a great giggle. I needed that, especially knowing you're coming from Florida and people aren't going to know.
I've been living the dream all winter. Yes. And believe me, I don't identify with the people here. I don't.
No, that's what just cracked me up.
We could just put their teams on there, like Red Sox, Yankees.
Oh.
We're in a coalition with New York. That's not going to work.
Exactly. No, that's what I mean. This is
That's what
unprecedented.
makes it work.
Joining
Yeah.
together, having two enemies join together.
Okay, let's not use that word unprecedented again for the rest of the meeting.
I know.
Well,
I can't
Bruce,
help it.
there's the
But
I have a
say
drinking
extraordinary. Extraordinary.
Every time you
I kind of like it.
unprecedented.
So
Interesting.
like Knicks and Celtics, or hockey. I mean, it's kind of some states are going to be out of luck. Like Connecticut, what do they have? I mean,
Oh, yeah.
we have nutmeg.
I know.
We're the nutmeg state.
But then of
Are
course
you?
there's
That's fun. I didn't know that.
there's state
All right.
flowers, state symbols, state
Let's see.
birds.
I like that line of thinking, but
Yes.
what's so identifiable by most people, and I mean,
Teams.
Let's
yeah, think of the masses,
I'm just
not
gonna-
the
I'm just gonna
VMM
close
group.
that
Think of the
down, Bruce,
masses that are out
because
there.
Okay,
I think we're done with
we're
that.
done.
Yeah.
We'll do this. There we go. All right. Anyway, so it was fun. We had Steve and I had a lot of fun, and it was fun to sort of let our thoughts keep going back and forth as we move through the process. And it was a fun way to. I used to do a lot of design projects like that, so it was a
Yeah, I just think if each state had a mascot of some kind that's recognizable,
the
because
flower.
mascots are always non-threatening. You can put a mascot on anything. Sorry to hear about your cancer. Here's the mascot. You know, I mean, it's usually the only chances are if you're going to deliver it, if there's a recognizable mascot, Minuteman in Massachusetts, New York. I mean, I think there's got to, you know, Yellow Rose of Texas. There's always got to be something. A state flower. I mean, at the very least,
Whatever's on the license plate,
yeah,
right?
and
What are they saying?
And they don't need to recognize it. If they see his flower and they see it on their state, they're going to look it up. Say, what does that mean? It's just got to increase the curiosity. They don't always have to get it. They just got to get, as long as they don't get the negative thing first. You know what I mean? Because they see biohazard, their mind goes somewhere. And maybe he's not using phone back.
All right,
Down
let's
here, they go get their guns.
let's start with Bruce Garber and work our way around the room.
Remember, we're on
Bruce.
YouTube Live here. Okay.
Bruce,
right,
why don't you
thanks.
start? Bruce, why don't you start off, and then when you're done, you pick the next person, and we'll just do it like that.
And what am I starting off with?
I don't know. Just we'll each take turns and say hello.
Virtual photo walks would be very relevant right now.
Yeah, yeah. So along that theme, thanks for the idea. Along that theme and everybody doing Zoom meetings, most of you know that I joined the photography club a number of years ago. And of course, we were meeting at a college, at a university, in one of the meeting halls every Thursday night. We're not allowed to do that anymore because the schools are closed and social distancing and all of that. So we've taken our Thursday meetings online using Zoom. And it's actually been very exciting because not only are we having our meetings online, but we're bringing in our guest speakers. And of course, the host is muting all the participants except for maybe the president, vice president, and the guest speaker. So we have a little conversation going there with the guest speaker. So he or she gets the feeling that they're actually talking to somebody on the side, but the 100+ people that have been joining these meetings are not, it's like a one-way visual for them. However, they can chat questions and so forth to the guest speaker, which is being relayed, and they can take that online and answer it. So we've been having guest speakers actually, when you do it live, in person, face to face, you're kind of limited to the people that you can bring in. I mean, they have to be in the area. They have to be traveling from wherever they live in the world. But virtually, we're bringing in, there's a friend of mine going to be presenting in 2 weeks from Italy. He lives just outside of Milan. So, of course, he's going to deal with the time zones, and he's aware of that, and is willing to do it for us. I've been friends with him for a number of years. So we're actually getting photographers from around the world doing talks for us virtually using Zoom. So it's been very exciting in that regard. So
What are the 99 other people doing when that one person is talking? How do they do that?
well, they did the presentation.
Yeah, but is everybody muted, or like how does it
Yes.
work?
Yep. There's video and audio from the that have been joining. The only people that can speak is whoever the host allows in. Now, if somebody has something worthwhile to contribute, the host can allow anybody to come in. What they do is, on the bottom of the screen, you raise your hand, and that's kind of the signal to the host to allow you in, both video and audio wise, so you can actually take that moment and ask that question in a face-to-face relationship, as opposed to just the group chat. So it's been working out really well. It's been very exciting. I mean, typically at our meetings, at any given meeting, you can have 50, 60, sometimes 70 people, but virtually we've been getting almost consistently over 100 people joining the meetings. So it's been exciting in that regard.
That's cool. Who runs the Zoom? You do?
Nope. The vice president of the club is running it.
Okay.
He has he has his own business, so he has a very high level professional version of Zoom, which allows him to do a lot of cool things. He's kind of doing it kind of like a WebEx, as opposed to just a Zoom like we're doing now with multiple people. So he has some added tools. I'm not familiar with all the things that he has in there, but he has some added tools through the Zoom platform at the level that he purchased. So it's exciting. It's a lot of fun. And of course, on the side, it's something I had this idea to do for some time now, is I wanted to interview and share what some of the photographers in the club, how they got started. What was the first time they picked up their camera? Some of the photographers in the club are professionals. Some are beginners. Some are novices. Some are advanced hobby. All pretty good photographers in their rate. Try and just do a Zoom interview and learn a little bit more about them and share it, on the club's Facebook page and so forth. So it's been a lot. I've been having fun with it. I have been going to work because I'm considered to be a essential employee because of the work we do. So I've been going in, maybe not every day. I've been working from home 1 or 2 days, but I have been making that commute. And of course, the commute with 85 to 90% of the people staying home, the ride has been so easy. So that's the plus side of it, is the traffic, of course, but I can't wait for it, especially with the nicer weather coming. Be nice to get out there and have some face-to-face time with some friends.
Cool.
So let's jump around. CC, you want to take it?
Sure. I'm just not talk about whatever. Is that the plan, Steve?
Sure.
I didn't know. So yeah, I mean, things are going well. I'm teaching, which is I haven't been to a meeting makers in a while. I'm a full-time professor now at Wheaton College, and so we had to go. We were one of the early schools. Told the kids, spring break, come home, get off campus and go away, be safe. So we've been online teaching since then, and it's been difficult for sure. I've got students. I know my marketing class. I've got students in Mumbai all the way to Phoenix. So it's been kind of crazy. But thankfully, I mean, I've used Zoom for years, so I know all the pitfalls and stuff. But it's been going good. What?
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, Zoom got when I was at NCTE, we used Zoom. It was the only thing we used because we were virtual. If you want to know how to get around a lot of the security or how to lock down things. The other day Friday was Welcome to Wheaton Day, and we did the webinar version of Zoom because it basically locks everybody else out. And we had like 410, I think, at peak people watching. It was a conversation with faculty talking, so prospective students and parents could ask questions. So it was interesting. It was really interesting. Today I'm doing something cool, which I'm kind of excited about. 2 years ago we did Marathon Monday's coming up, and the weekend before usually weekend before, they do this thing called the Tough Ruck. Ever since the bombing, they used to happen in the morning before the marathon. National Guardsmen and women would walk or ruck, weighted backpacks the entire course in uniform. After the bombing, you can't do that anymore. So the Tough Ruck over the weekend, it happens the weekend before now, where you ruck the 26.2 miles around Minuteman National Park. A couple years ago, we did it. I got to mile 16 and my legs collapsed. My wife finished it. But today they're doing this virtual Tough Ruck, because obviously the Tough Ruck is not happening this weekend, where they want people to ruck 2.62 miles in their home or in their neighborhood. A nice short little distance. I know when my son finally wakes up from his gamer sleep, because he works third shift, we joke. He plays games all night and sleeps all morning. We're going to ruck. There's a 3-mile loop around our neighborhood that we're just going to go ruck in memory of fallen soldiers. So I'm excited to get up. I want to go because it's beautiful out. So
you have to wear a weighted pack when you do that.
Yeah.
What is it? What's in there?
They're specific. They're plates. They're made for this. I have a 35, a 25, and a couple 10s. They're literally just their weight plates.
Also,
I've got
gallons of
35
water.
pounds.
Gallons of water work fine. Just
Yeah,
have
but
gallons-
it hurts your back.
I know.
Hurts your back. Just having a plate, having a weighted plate is a lot easier for me at least. But yeah, no, they're solid. The steel. They weigh a lot, but and you pick how much you want to weight and you throw it in your ruck and go.
And Dylan's gonna do that too?
Oh yeah. No, Laura, Dylan, and I are all gonna do it. So
Wow.
a nice
Cool.
little get out. Yeah, they look like this. Since I realized you didn't turn off screen sharing.
No, I don't know how to do that. So,
Dangerous, by the way, because anybody can share anything.
yeah,
You have a room full of students and you're pulling up porn and stuff. That's bad.
Oh, now it's going to be bad.
Yeah, but these, they look like this. They're
Ah.
just they're plates, and they come in
that's
different. You just slide them in your ruck.
wow, cool.
Yeah. So.
Or you could throw a dog in there.
Oh yeah, the dogs. I mean, Jazz is around. Nadia, they're always around. Jazz.
Somebody in a sheet metal factory realized they had a gold mine. They just stopped cutting the sheet metal up, painted it, and put a hole in it. And
oh yeah, no, you need
product.
the hole. The only reason the hole's there so you can lift it up and use it as a weight if you want.
Yeah,
And they're,
wow,
I mean,
that's cool.
they've been. I don't know the process, but they're not just straight steel because they're made so they can get soaking wet and and get the crap beat out of them. But yeah, it was a lot easier because I used to use sandbags and that sucks. Sandbags on your back suck, but the plates make it a lot easier.
There's a company that focuses on doing that, just recycled material. Like I can't do anything with this. Let's just make a metal plate.
Yeah.
And I used to joke. I had some friends who LARPed, and I thought we're playing Roman soldiers. Oh yeah? Do you carry weights? Because those guys carry 50 freaking pounds when they were marching across the freaking cast.
So that's my update.
No.
Oh.
Oh, am I supposed to pick somebody, Steve? Is that how we're doing this?
Yeah.
All right, I want to hear how Robin's doing.
See? Yeah.
I got your message, Bruce.
Okay.
It's,
Oh, that's nice, Robin.
Ah.
Oh, while I have you there,
he's told me that before, but I'm a slow learner.
That looks.
How am I doing? Well, work wise, I'm still doing, about 50%, 50 to 70% of my work has been virtual all along. So that part's still going. So I'm doing a lot of executive communication style coaching and I'm working a lot with biotech companies. So that part's pretty good. What did I want to tell you guys? Oh, Snap, it's Violet. She said she was going to join us this morning, but she's sleeping. She doesn't want to wake up. So that's not going to happen. We're doing some free webinars now with our company with the COVID stuff. And I'm going to be doing one this week called Thinking on Your Feet. So it's free 30 minutes. And then if people want to expand their learning, we'll have a follow-up 2-hour paid seminar, online. So that I will send you guys a link out to that. I'm realizing that as I'm talking to you. And I've been a little overwhelmed because I've been dealing with my dad. My dad's got Alzheimer's. So that's been like my real full-time job since I've been down here. So
Robin, on my Facebook this morning, I just shared an article you might have seen that talked about who we should be hearing from these days. And it's not politicians or scientists who can't speak. It's scientists or intermediaries who are taught in how to present. So you would love that article.
I would love that article. And I can't even tell you how much I love what I do because every single problem on earth can be traced to a communication problem. And every single person I help says, why didn't I learn this sooner? I wish I would have known this. This is the source of all the pain and suffering in everyone's life. Anxiety is almost always communication. It doesn't mean I'm perfect at it. I had to get over that. I had to get over thinking, well, I have to be perfect at this if I'm going to coach other people. I'm able to be objective and help people with problems that are the very same problems I have with my siblings or my kids. But I'm able to help people even though I haven't mastered it. But whatever, that's the way things go, I guess. You have to get over that. So that's pretty much it. I miss you guys. I'm so glad that you put this together, Steve. This is easy. And maybe we can keep BMM going. Uh-oh. Are you muted, Steve? Oh, there.
No.
No,
I see your mouth moving. I'll put the words in it for you, okay?
I was thinking it's great. And I remember that one time we had people on vacation in Boston from Japan and they were fans in some way and they came and people who've moved away and things. So.
Oh my gosh, Steve, you're right.
Remember they were like video bloggers.
Yeah, think of what it could be now.
Less Boston centric. So, we'll see.
Oh man, infinite possibilities.
Yeah. And as for
great.
security, CC, you mentioned, so I put the group ID and the password in the email and over on the group page, which is both private. So that I think would help it keeping it secure. And then I wouldn't let anyone in until I personally admitted them. So those three things I think are good practices, right?
Yeah,
CC?
and Zoom turned on, so you have to have passwords now. It's mandated for the free accounts. You can't do it. Having a waiting room is a key thing, which you had, which is good. The one thing that people keep forgetting about, well, there's a couple. One, you can also set it so that people can't unmute themselves if you want. If you're really locking stuff down, say that they can't unmute. But the key one is don't let people join who you've kicked out, because it's not on by default, which is stupid by Zoom. There's a setting where you basically say, hey, if I kick somebody out, don't let them back in. But it's off by default, so you have to turn it on. That's like the one security thing that's left. It's like, don't let these people, and you can turn off screen sharing for other people. So you as the host has to give permission. Like when I start with my students, there's no way I'm letting them touch screen share, because I know, come on, every student's gonna mess around.
They've all seen Animal House.
But, and this is virtual, right? I can only bring up a full screen whatever I want. So yeah, one thing, Steve, if you're ever, for anybody using Zoom, one of the things for sure, the Zoom preferences that you get in the app is like a third of the preferences. There's like literally on the first screen, if you click and says go to more settings, if you go to your Zoom account online, there's literally 50, 60 other settings you can turn on.
I did that yesterday.
It's weird how they don't tell you that.
Yeah. Well, I went to a Zoom for Beginners webinar that they had, and they're having them all the time. Anyone can go to them. So I went to that, and it was excellent. He went through the settings, and that it's so much. And then he suggested to, just do one, which was really great. That's everything. That's what we say is just go do video, and then you'll get better. Or Robin, you would say speak, just speak more, and as you speak more and more, you'll get better at it. So suggested trying a Zoom, and I was doing a Instacart order with my mom because she's quarantined up where she is in her facility. So I opened up Instacart on my screen, and then we did a Zoom, and we could see each other, and then I went through the order, and we did the order together on Instacart, and so that worked great.
Well, Zoom went from 10 million people corporate to 100 million people. It's almost overnight. So there's a lot.
I thought I heard 200 million, Bruce.
Maybe it even grew even more. That was.
It's just like unfathomable how they could even.
I can't imagine how they're keeping the quality so good.
That's the part I'm shocked, is that it's been stable. Knock on every bit of wood I got.
Yeah.
Maybe they have independent hosts, server hosts. They probably have regional server hosts.
They do.
Server. Yeah, and then that really helps it out.
They have servers all around the world, and they just, in their most recent security update, they allow you to say which regions you do not want to have your data stream through, like China. So people were concerned about that. So now you can just shut that off.
You also have to give them credit. They jumped on security immediately. As soon as it started to go bad, you could see the changes, like, oh, there's another set of security. Oh, there's some more stuff. Like, they just had the development team just go, and they seem to do a really good job with it. So, all right, Robin, you pick somebody next.
Oh, I got to pick somebody. Ari.
Mute.
I'll unmute myself. Hey guys, I'm just listening at this point. So what am I saying?
Ari, weren't you in like a beautiful pastoral setting a minute ago, and now you're in your kitchen?
Oh yeah, you want me to go back to that? Sure, yeah, I can go back to preferences, virtual. I created this background. I found this background online for Passover Zoom. It's
that is not pastoral. Sorry.
The Egyptian desert, all that. But my whole family, we had 20 of us, whatever. We did a virtual Zoom for Passover. So I had set that whole thing up. Similar to CC, I started using Zoom back in 2016. A former job of mine used Zoom 100% of the time to connect with offices and people all across the country. So I've been using this for years, so I think it's great that it's come back. And now people are also using, Google Hangouts and Google Meet and Skype and everything else. I mean, I remember back in the day using See You See Me. I don't know if any of you remember that app. But
What is it?
See You See Me.
Oh, yeah.
That is 10 plus years ago, 15 years ago, whatever it was. But I don't know. My thing these days is I'm now teaching. So I've been, since last fall, I've been teaching every day as a substitute teacher at Framingham High School. And as of a few weeks ago, I'm now certified as an English teacher for grades 5 to 12 in Massachusetts
Congratulations.
public schools. So heck of a time to look for jobs, but I'm starting to apply and all that, and we'll see what happens. I also have experience teaching online classes to online college. So maybe I can use that as an edge if schools are not yet open in the classrooms to maybe do some online teaching. I don't know. But that's kind of what I'm up to these days. For the past 2.5 years, I've been working in the gig economy as a side job, doing Uber and Lyft and Shipt and Instacart and everything else. So I'm not really doing that as much as I was. I pretty much haven't been, in the past 3 weeks, I have not entered a store at all. I just choose not to. I do everything through curbside pickup and delivery and everything else. But on the side, I moderate a Facebook group for Massachusetts delivery drivers that has almost 200 people. So I'm sort of advocating for everyone on the sidelines. And it's pretty neat to see all the new apps that I never knew existed that suddenly exist. It's like yesterday I came across an app called Roadie, R-O-A-D-I-E. And Roadie is, it's basically picking up and delivering from Home Depot, Walmart, and a couple other Tractor Supply and a bunch of other places. So I keep learning about all these new apps that companies that presumably have existed for a long time, but now the supply chain needs them even more.
How about dumpling?
Dumpling is cool. So I actually know 2 people who have created business accounts through Dumpling. Dumpling, basically, for those of you who don't know Dumpling, instead of waiting for days and days and days to get deliveries from grocery stores, and that's if you can even get a delivery window available to you, Dumpling allows those shoppers to become your personal shoppers. So you create an account on Dumpling, and then you find someone near your zip code who is a shopper. You choose what you want the person to buy for you, and there's a small convenience fee. So it's intended if you're buying a lot of stuff, and the convenience fee makes sense. But I tested out Dumpling last week with a guy I know who did it, who shopped for me, and I ordered stuff from Whole Foods on like 10 o'clock at night, and then he brought it to me the next morning.
Wow.
So it's whereas if I had ordered it on a Whole Food on a Amazon.com or on the Whole Foods app, whatever. I mean, I've tried doing that for weeks. I can't get any slots. So,
Right.
Screw that.
Interesting.
It's pretty neat. Pretty neat.
So are there more besides Roadie and Dumpling? I mean, I never heard of them. That's fascinating. That's why I
Oh,
love
there's
this
tons of
group.
apps. I mean, for delivery, there's so my own experience in terms of what I've shopped and delivered with Instacart, which is a whole slew of supermarkets and everything else. I've done stuff with Shipt, S-H-I-P-T. Shipt was bought out by Target a couple years ago. So it's Target, it's supermarkets, it's Petco, it's CVS prescription, it's a lot of everything. I know some people who do things with Postmates, which is national.
Postmates. I hear this word, but I don't know anything about it.
Postmates is it's a combination of, it's mostly restaurants and some other stores.
It's like Grubhub and DoorDash.
Yeah, but DoorDash is just restaurants. Postmates is like restaurants plus. And there's also a neat app called GoPuff, if you haven't heard of that, G-O-P-U-F-F. And GoPuff is, it's basically anything you could buy at a convenience store, like a 7-Eleven. So there's basically regional warehouses. So I live in Newton. The closest warehouse to me is right across the street from Target in Watertown. And so I did a GoPuff order 2 weeks ago. I ordered some, I can see what's in stock in real time. And so I ordered some unsweetened almond milk for my mom. I ordered, they actually had some Lysol wipes that were in stock. So I ordered one of those for me. And I don't know, whatever else I ordered. and it all came to me inside of a half hour.
Wow.
So it's pretty neat.
So this is Postmates?
That's GoPuff.
So they don't have a store.
They don't have a store, but they get their supplies from, I don't know if they get it from stores, but it's basically convenience store stuff.
Yeah.
So it's basically like gum and ice cream and candies and chips and, milks and, there's no fruits or vegetables, there's no cheese, there's nothing like that.
Is this the end of bricks and mortar once and for all, you think? You guys are good at predicting things.
Well, it's not the end of it, but
That was at Watertown Target on Friday, and there were a lot of people shopping there.
I think it's the end for big box. I think that there's certain businesses where you can just make tons of money with a brick and mortar. Big box, that could be it. But I'm wondering if maybe we're going back to more of a souk sort of environment. Like if there's enough adjustments, people can just, with robotics being accessible to everybody, it's possible for a lot of people to have their own places because people still want to go out. The problem is you got to be like a jazz club owner that serves brunch, or you got to be like something like there's a place in Arlington called Adventure Pub. They're a board game pub, so you can play board games. And the idea is that you can get food at home, you can play board games at home, but people still want to meet. The only problem is this whole pandemic has basically proven that's a fragile ecosystem.
Well, I think what's fascinating is how a lot of existing brick and mortars are beginning to adapt. So already you have restaurants which get routine supply from their vendors, from their distributors, and they're now applying for, these brick and mortar restaurants are now applying for permits from the local Board of Health so they can sell groceries.
Yeah.
I think it's also interesting what's surviving, like, the places that were doing takeout, like the little pizza places that you thought, didn't compare at all to like a fancy restaurant. They will probably be the survivors because people are accustomed to going to there. And so I just noticed if they didn't have a window,
Fascinating.
they've cut a hole in the wall already, or they've taken out a window and put up plywood, but they said, we are open for takeout. So I think the takeout economy, those pizza places and those kind of places will be the survivors out of this, where the fancier restaurants are going to really struggle because you can't drive up and get a steak.
The ambiance is the whole point of a fancy restaurant.
Right.
We have a bike trail. We can walk up. Sorry.
No, you go.
No, we have a bike trail, so Florida doesn't have that open container thing you guys have up there. I can walk up and get a beer, a mimosa, a glass of wine, and just keep riding my bike.
The brew-through. That's
actually another thing. There's an app called Drizzly, Drizzly, and Drizzly is on-demand alcohol. So I actually know some people in Drizzly.
You're lucky to have through a pandemic, but your access to alcohol is unlimited.
And Drizzly around here is connected to DoorDash. So I have a friend who does a lot of DoorDash deliveries. He showed me a screenshot from yesterday, and he made like $300 or $400 just yesterday. Most of that from tips. People who want their gin and rum.
But you can't do that in Massachusetts, can you? They don't.
Yeah,
I don't.
Yep.
You can. Okay.
But I just go to the store and buy liquor.
There was a time you couldn't have casinos in Massachusetts. Well, that's changed.
Right.
So.
Well, there you go.
It's changing.
Pretty soon it'll look just like Florida. And by the way, there's lots of people from Boston down here. Lots.
Well, which part of Florida are you in?
I'm the Gulf Coast, right near Clearwater, in a town called Dunedin, which is a really cool town.
Really?
Yeah.
Dunedin is the name of the town that after Christchurch in New Zealand got flattened. Dunedin.
It's got Scottish roots.
I know.
Yep.
I was thinking, do they remember Bonnie Prince Charlie?
It's a Scottish town. So.
They have Highlander games here every year, which are, of course, are canceled now, where they throw women and men giant telephone poles with their wool kilts on.
Great.
They're crazy.
All proceeds go to Habitat for Humanity. Anyway, throwing all the wood over there.
Uh-oh.
Who's
next?
Yeah.
Well, I've been doing Instagram videos. Talking about what I've been doing in isolation every Thursday on Instagram. My name is Yvonne Christian if you want to search for me on Instagram. sometimes I do one video, sometimes I do 2 or 3. I mean, I just started late March with these videos, and the first one, I'm outside a lot, walking around the house I live in now. It's a free family home, and so I had a lot of fun doing that. And now I'm just doing them indoors because it seems like every Thursday it's raining or snowing.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Deborah, you saw?
Yeah.
No.
Let me know when it's safe to
Doing
come
my
back.
artwork and relaxing, and other times I go out. I have to wrap myself up with a scarf and hat and put on these latex gloves I bought at Home Depot a couple of weeks ago, and go out and drive my car at least once a week. I did put some gas in my car, and I only spent only $5.80 on gas, which is really weird.
Nice.
And I had a discount too, because I have T-Mobile on my cell phone, and every week they have a discount with Shell, Shell gas station. So I have that little discount, and they also have that Fuel Rewards discount with Stop and Shop. So when I combine the two, I get a big discount of 35 cents sometimes, or 25 cents a week. So, but I'm not going every week to the gas pump. So I just decided to go, since I was driving my car and doing some errands, just put some gas in, and then I only spent $5.80. So at least I have a full tank
That's
of
good.
gas.
Good to keep the car gassed up.
Gas is like $2 a gallon now. It's
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like $2.09, but with the discount, I was only paying $1.70.
I was gonna say
I-
down here it's 169.
I filled up
$1.
a few days ago at the right by Blue Hills on Route 138. We're in the Canton Milton line, $1.45.
Yeah.
Where's
Wow.
this?
It's 1972 again.
It's 1972.
Oh, I found it. Number 1972.
Let's move on to Baruch and finish it off.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well, I guess wanted to bring up a couple of technology I've been playing with, because I'm still at the tabletop games, D&D and stuff like that. So our group was kind of suffering. So we were looking at a lot of stuff. Discord is one that's very popular with the gamers and stuff like that. They are pretty good about privacy, and they're trying to be corporate. Another one was Jitsi. It's a free one. You could add a Google Chrome extension, and it also has records, and it was pretty good. But also there was the Cambridge Innovation Center. They were doing Venture Cafe. They had a Remo. What was cool is they had a virtual map with tokens. So when you go into a room together, then they would connect a virtual room. So it had almost a gaming environment. So like I'm saying, you got any nephews you're into gaming, ask some questions. They may have some ideas, because gaming is a far more intensive video. I mean, laptops are more expensive. There's a reason for that. So if you can run a game like a virtual tabletop with effects and coordinate something that's dynamic, that could probably have some applications. I tried to get my group to try it on Slack, an actual business app, to see if it could work, but it was kind of weird. But another topic, this kind of hit me hard, because I worked in the Regent Theater. I did STEM learning at a physical location, and I was supposed to call businesses when they were at work. So 3 part-time jobs got nullified by the pandemic. But a month ago, I kind of got desperate, so I wanted to do this idea. So I went on a GoFundMe about a month ago on a Wednesday, not realizing the world would change Thursday. It was a steampunk dojo. The idea was I wanted to do something that was essentially a clubhouse, which was like an adult version of STEM, but for STEAM. And the idea was that everyone could take a turn being a sensitive teacher. Everyone puts in like a membership money. $2 goes to the organization, and then the rest goes to a pool in the month that has to be spent on something I call a space exchange. Basically a service, a project, an activity, a class, or an event. The money must be spent. There is no hoarding, which, by the way, takes a whole new meaning now, in case you've been following the news. The problem is I kind of wanted to be a place where brick and mortars could actually benefit. So it's like the next day, I just like, oh my God, the whole message is there. I got a $500 donation, but I've been sort of like, I did it in a day, I locked myself in, and then I got just sort of like the bandwidth to change the message. And I wanted to adapt it to basically a CDC, instead of a community development clubhouse, a community development concierge or a dojo concierge. The idea is everyone can set up the dojos, get a digital whiteboard, something like unique that can be as a plug-in to Skype, so that you could actually do things. And the idea was everyone could take a turn taking classes, and if enough money was left over, maybe even publish the workshop. So the idea is anyone can be a teacher. Like the joke is in The Karate Kid, when he asked him what kind of belt you have, he said, canvas. You like it? It's JCPenney, $3.98. Like Miyagi didn't know shit. He was a sensei, but he
Baruch.
yeah.
Are
I
you
think
familiar
that-
with Splash at MIT? No, I wasn't going to coach. I was just gonna say, are you familiar with the Splash program at MIT?
I'm familiar with it. I don't not as much, but I was like General Assembly, all these other places. But what is Splash specifically?
It's very cool. They do it for high school kids, and basically anyone at MIT can teach a course on anything. And if you look at their programs, they're really cool. It's like physics, but it's related to Harry Potter, like crazy class titles. And they open the campus up at MIT. My nieces did it. I'm thinking 10 years ago now, but I think I still get emails from them. But it's called Splash. It's all volunteer. It's all free. You have to register your kids and sign up for it. But the classes and the courses are amazing.
Yeah,
And
I mean,
it's similar to what you're saying, I think.
Oh, I had no idea. I'm sure I wasn't reinventing the wheel. So is it for also adults as well? I mean, adults, or is it for, because
It's only for high school kids, but
that's the difference. I don't want this to be
yes,
co-funded by the Department of Education. I want it to be a Department of Unemployment. There's something
but
called
it's a model for you.
Yeah,
That's all I'm saying.
Oh yeah, I would definitely do that. I saw Coda Dojo. I've seen so many models. I think the thing is, I had this 10 years in the making. In 2009, my second layoff, and I went through a Section 30 program, and the only one I could find was ridiculously expensive, and it was for a web class that wasn't certified, and they didn't even teach open source. They taught Dreamweaver and other stuff. And I remember thinking to myself, there's an MIT class I could be taking, but I can't extend my unemployment because the Department of Unemployment didn't recognize them. So the idea was, part of it is the Section 30, and part of it also was, yeah, it's just like not teaching even classes as much as just projects. Like, I just want to learn how to do a balance sheet. I don't need to know Excel. I just want to do a balance sheet. I am never going to use a Gantt chart. I have never used a Gantt chart. So why am I learning that and paying extra money? Or with Photoshop, 90% of most people just want to crop in Photoshop. They want to crop.
It's your cherry
import. That is it.
Right. You're cherry picking the
right.
relevant.
And
You're
erase
just
a
doing
couple
the relevant.
things. That's it. You're
Yeah.
erase a couple things. That's probably, you're probably right on that.
I
Crop
work
and
at the
erase
Micro
a few
store.
things. Erase out your ant in the corner. It's
I
like,
worked for the Micro store at Prudential, right? And they kept trying to sell all this other stuff. And I thought, what's this? And they said it was the one, I forgot the name of it. I hate it when I forget something. It's the one when you snip, the snipping tool. I discovered it. I'm like,
Crop.
oh my God, snipping tool's been here. I took Photoshop to learn this. And there was the snipping tool, and Windows doesn't even say anything about it. And so that's the whole thing. And the idea was, I think anyone can be a teacher. And also this could be a form of side hustle. The idea is, if everyone pays a membership and they put in, let's say $80 goes together and they give 20 people, that's enough to pay the guy who's hosting.
so what Baruch is really saying here is there's going to be some amazing innovations coming out of this. New ways of doing business, new ways of entertaining, new ways of connecting that is just from him or all of us or anybody anywhere is going to just, it's going to be this explosion of new ways that we have we don't even have an idea yet about.
And this would be the playground. This would be the last.
Yeah, well, it's crowdsourcing ideas. Yeah, it's crowdsourcing.
Mini crowdsourcing. Yeah. So I'm
crowdsourcing thought.
I have to rewrite it now because it's like, but the bandwidth was hard. Like I said. And also, in addition to that, there's another project. When I was working, I'm still working the Regent Theater, but we're not showing shows. There is a festival called the Lonely Seal Film Festival that was planning to go in October. They're still planning to go. It's for entry film people. I kind of want to introduce him to this group because his whole thing is, the guy who does it is all about independent films, first-time filmmakers. He was going to do road shows where he was going to show films. And since it's going to happen in October, it could still happen, which means it very well could be the first film festival to happen when the ban is lifted and the cabin fever is overflowing. It's called Lonely Steel Film Festival. I'm going to put the link to my GoFundMe. Listen, I have to redo the whole thing. It's the original way I did it. I literally locked myself in my room to do that thing. I was literally running away from the computer the whole day. So I still want to work on it. It's just that after the pandemic, it felt weird trying to ask people money for a project.
Yeah.
Particularly when initially a brick and mortar was a big part of it. That's the thing when you said brick and mortar. I was like, brick and mortar was a part of it. This could have been something where if you had these people doing these activities, they go to a place, they go to a local cafe, they go to this and that. And the idea, of course, is just like I said, it's just a very low intensive laboratory with people who aren't certified and who are just trying to be literate in something. Right. And then they can pay extra money for all the, the classes. So
right.
Those are the two things I wanted to mention. And I could probably talk forever, but one last thing, small little hobby I'm doing while I'm stressed. It's very stress relieving. And apparently Henry Cavill has been doing it. And it's figure painting, as in you take something like this, and then you paint it to something like this. So I found I need reading glasses for this because it's pretty fine-tuned. But the idea, of course, is it is so relaxing. I feel like there is a therapy scam here with this because it is so relaxing. You have to focus on doing these little miniatures because the games, they don't want to pay to paint the miniatures. It costs extra. So there's actual whole paints like dedicated to that. I recommend it. It is so relaxing. So that's my activity today. The other stuff I'm not going to talk about because it's boring. Netflix, Q, yada yada, gaming. But this is something that I found. And for the guy who played Superman, decides to do that as a hobby, it can be pretty cool. And last but not least, you've all seen the Matthew McConaughey video, bandanas and coffee filters.
What?
He basically made, he can make a mask. You take a bandana, you put it in a coffee filter, you fold it, you do the rubber bands, and the coffee filter is what gives it the extra protection.
Now I saw a guy take a maxi pad that had wings and tape it to his face.
Yeah, I would rather have a coffee filter to my face. A coffee filter makes sense. It's actually a food-related filter. But he called it Badass Bandito. I'll put the links in the chat. It was pretty funny because he went into character like Matthew McConaughey always does. And he literally came up with a character to explain it because we're on the lookout for this varmint called COVID-19. We're going to take this sucker out. I'm going to show you how. And I'll just put it in the chat. And I'm done because I got to know when to end on a high note. And who has not? Oh, we have someone new?
Yeah, someone else, someone called JC.
Yeah, hey, how's it going?
In the shadows. I can't see you, JC.
Nice cherry blossoms.
Hey, JC.
How's it going, everybody?
Good to see you.
Good to be seen. Yeah.
We're going around just chatting about what's going on. What are you doing? If you want to join in, great.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah. Just weathering the storm. Remote work has been okay. The team's been good. I actually got traded during this period to a different team in the same organization.
Just like baseball or sporting or what kind?
A little bit. I'm using the baseball metaphor a little bit. Yeah. It's a good thing. Positive. I think it's been a long time coming. So just kind of straight up. But I've been just gathering little video clips for a short I'm working on, just sort of documenting just little atmospheric things as I go through this period of time, sort of like a personal journal kind of thing. So got my Final Cut Pro up. Offload as much as possible because I'm shooting 4K 24p and I'm like bumping into my cloud storage. I was like, I got to unload this stuff onto my hard drive or I'm going to have to pay Apple more money, which I desperately do not want to do. So, but it's coming along, just little bits and pieces and adding it to the bins and seeing what fits in a timeline and trying to stay sane, little journaling, that kind of thing.
You're shooting that on a new iPhone? Yeah,
I got the big bad thing. You can't really see because I'm keying out, but there you go. Yeah, the big bad iPhone, and my kids need iPhones at the end of the year, and so I figured why not? I'll just bite the bullet and I'll give them my 8 Plus and upgrade myself. So it's been nice. The camera, the true lenses for tele and macro are really nice. The 4K I think is really interesting. I think with Filmic Pro you can do dual facing cameras, which I think is kind of cool. I've been meaning to try that for an interview at some point, but
I use their app. I use that app. It worked out fantastic.
Oh, did you do it? Oh, cool.
Yeah, I used the front and the back camera and I held it between me and Carol and I just had it on the table and we just had a conversation and you can choose to export it as a side by side and you're done. And I hit the wrong button and it exported it as both of our streams. And so I had to bring it into Final Cut and figure out how to use Final Cut again.
Yeah.
And I edited it out. I edited it out, like I put my stream on top of Carol's and I cut out when I wanted her. And then a friend of mine saw it and said, there's like a key that'll just do it for you, which I don't think I ever learned.
Oh, wow.
What's the name of the app that you guys said?
Oh.
I think it's called Filmic Pro or Filmic Pro.
Filmic Pro is the
Filmic, M-I-C?
Yeah, like Filmic, but they
let's see if I can find
they came out with another app which I think I can find.
We should be taking notes.
The new Robin, double take.
Double take.
I
Okay.
think it might be inside
Bruce.
exported.
Thank you for sharing your notes.
Double take just does it.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's nothing. The stuff I'm working on is not special stuff. I'm just like, I'm trying to get dust off the old film chops and see if I can put a timeline together that's remotely interesting. And this is an interesting period of time, like taking grocery store shots of the empty toilet paper aisle and like lines, you know, people in, you know, I'm on a push-up kick, me doing push-ups, like random shit. You know what I mean? String that together. And
Have you visited my timeline?
Is that? Oh yeah, you're doing the same stuff.
That's it. Yeah, I went to a Target and nothing was on the shelves. It's really cool shots.
Yeah.
And they had Charmin over on one side and Quilted Northern way down the end. But I used the wide angle on the iPhone, the new, where you can use the wide angle, and it's
the 0.5. Yeah.
It's really cool, except when you bend trees and buildings, then it's weird.
Yeah. The chromatic aberration is a thing.
So, okay, I'm going to say goodbye for all our recording videos. So thank you all for watching. Visit
Question.
bostonmediamakers.com.
Quick question. Do the links show up on the chat?